Crochet, and today I'm going to show you how to make ears for any size beanie. Okay, so the way this goes is I have another video, and I'm going to put it in the description box below, and I'll put it in my end screen, and it basically shows you how to make any size beanie from preemie all the way to large adult. Okay, so what I'm doing is just showing you how to add the ears to any size of those as well. So basically what it is each beanie uses a different size hook to make the size that you need. So for instance, this is a 0 to 3 months beanie, and for this one I used a 3.25 millimeter hook, or a size D. Okay, so that's what it calls for the 0 to 3 months beanie, and that's also the size I'm going to use for the ears. Okay, so if that makes sense to you, so basically you're going to use the same pattern for the ear that I'm going to show you today. It's just that if you go up in size for your beanie, then you will use the hook size that goes with that beanie for the ear, and then the ear will get larger with the actual size of the beanie. Okay, so if you have any questions, let me know, but basically that's what it is. And like I said, and I'm repeating myself, but I'm going to put that video in the description in case you need to know how to make or the size hooks you need, and how to make the actual beanie for any size. Okay, now for this pretty little green yarn today, I'm using Mandela Lion Brand yarn, and this is, let's see what color this is. I can never find the colors on these things. Echo Caves. Okay, so that's the color of this, so that's what I'm using, and I'm doing a little gift set for a little baby boy. So I'm making the beanie for it, and I made a blanket out of that same yarn. By the way, if you want to try it, guys, that yarn is beautiful. Okay, so I'm using that, and then I'm going to make some little booties as well. So I'm using, and it's really taken only 2 of those cakes, 2 of those Mandela cakes, to make a blanket, to make a beanie, to make little booties. I mean, really, and I'm still gonna have some left over, so it's great. Okay, so let's get going on this. So all I'm gonna show you how to do today is how to make the ears. But remember, the ears, it's the same pattern for every size beanie. The only thing you're changing is the hook size. So you know the yarn and the hook we're using today. So let's go ahead and get started. And obviously you'll need 2 of these. Okay, so we're gonna start with a magic circle. And remember, guys, if you aren't comfortable with magic circles or you don't know how to do them, you can do the chain 2 instead. And I show that in my other videos as well. Okay, so after you do your magic circle, you're going to chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. And then you're going to put 12 double crochets, including this chain of 3, into the middle of your magic circle. So we've got the 1 for the chain of 3, so we're just going to start counting from there. So this would be 2, 3, 4, 5,
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12.
and then you're just going to pull your magic circle, or if you did your chain of 2, you would pull that as well. And then you're just going to slip stitch to the top of that first chain of 3 that you did. Okay, so basically when you watch, if you watch my beanie video, you're doing exactly the same thing that you would do for the beginning of your beanie. Okay, and so now we're going to chain 3 again, 1, 2, and 3, and in that same place that you just slip stitched into, you're going to put another double crochet. And then in the next stitch, and if you're confused about where your next stitch should be, because everything gets a little wonky right there where that slip stitch is, just look for your double crochets from your previous round and go right above them. So in your next stitch, you're going to put 2 double crochets. And in the next stitch, you're going to put 2 double crochets. And so you're going to keep doing that all the way around, 2 double crochets in each stitch around. And you should have a count of 24. Okay, so we just did our last 2 double crochets in that last stitch, and now you're going to slip stitch into the top of this chain of 3. Okay, and this is what it would look like so far. And you can tighten this middle up if you need to, just like that. Okay, and so now we're going to start on a couple rows of double crochets all the way around. Okay, so we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, and you're going to go into your very next stitch and you're going to work a double crochet. And then you're going to keep doing that all the way around, working 1 double crochet in each stitch around. This yarn, because I'm using such a small hook, it does like to peel a little bit. So again, just 1 double crochet all the way around. As you can see, it's going to start turning in quite a bit. Now you want to make sure that this part is facing out like this, okay? And then, so I want you to keep going around for this 1 round of 1 double crochet in each stitch around. And then I want you to do another round of 1 double crochet all the way around. And then we'll meet back up again. And don't forget to slip stitch to the top of your chain of 3. Okay, so you should have finished your 2 rounds of double crochets. And this is what it looks like when you're done. And I want you to leave a long tail on the end so that you can sew it in. And then when that little piece that you have from the inside, after you tighten that up as much as you can, you're just going to put this right back inside there. There's no need to sew it in because we're going to sew this onto the hat. So that's going to stay right in place on the inside, okay? So now I'm going to show you how to place this on the beanie. And of course you will just mirror the other side exactly the same. Now I already have one here. On here so I can show you what the finished looks like, but where I want you to place these, and this is for any size hat, is I want you to look at the very top of the hat, the beanie, and right here we had our first row. This is where we did our magic circle round right there with the 12 in it for the beanie, and then you have your next round, and this is where I want you to place the ear, and so it should go from here to all the way down to this row. Okay, so we're going to take this ear, whichever side you like best, facing forward, and I've already put my darning needle on here, and then I'm going to find where it matches right here. So I'm going to go right around over here, and I'm going to place this like this. Okay, and that way it's going to kind of look like it's coming from underneath the hat, so it makes the ears look a little bit better. Okay, but I'm just wanting to make sure that it lines up correctly, and then you can take a stick pin to help you hold it in place, and you can just place it right there so it doesn't come undone. Okay, and then you can kind of look at it and make sure that everything lines up perfect. So I think that looks good. So here's another little tip for you when you're sewing things on, no matter what it may be. Oftentimes our piece that we have to sew with, like this one, is in the actual middle of our project. So I want to start down here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to simply go in and out of this bottom piece So I'm not sewing yet. I'm just going in and out of the actual ear part, not sewing in anything, just to get down to the end so I can start fresh from way down here, okay? So now this is where I want it to be. I want it to be down here at the end, okay? So now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna, as close as I can get to the ear, I'm going to go through both sides, okay? Just like this. So I'm pretty sure that they just call this a basic whip stitch. And this works best for me when I'm doing stuff like this. So I'm just going to take, just going very close to the ear and then going through both sides. I'm just going to sew it in all the way up to the top. Okay, just like this. And you want to make sure that you get right close to the edge. And you want to make sure that you're getting both sides of that ear, okay? Because sometimes it can, see, like I'm pulling this up with my needle a little bit because sometimes they can get squashed down. So just make sure you're getting both sides. Okay, just like that. And then I want to make sure that I don't have any corners, because you see this is still poking out a little bit. So I'm going to go right over here and I'm going to make sure that I get this corner secured. Okay, so now I can take my stick pin out, and now we need to go to the back of the hat, okay? Or where the ear is. And I want to go along this way as well, just to make sure that it's secured and just to make sure that it stands out, okay? So I'm just gonna keep keep everything really close here. So now I've just turned my hat over and I'm working on the back. And this is just giving extra security. And remember guys, when you're making anything for children or babies, you want to make sure that you're extra careful and making sure that all your loose ends are in, making sure that everything is very secure. Of course, when you're dealing with crochet, there's always a chance kids can pull on it. They can do all kinds of things to it. And they can do that with any product. So it's not just crochet, but to be extra safe, it's good to make sure that everything's on securely, okay? And so we're working our way right down here to the end. Again, staying close. And now, look at that. We're done, and we've got two little ears. So now all we're going to do is we're going to take this piece, and like I said, when you're working with anything for kids or anything like that, you want to make sure that you want to do this anyway so nothing ever comes undone. So I'm going to probably go through this more than just 3 times, since this is for a baby. So I've gone through twice. And you can also, sometimes I tend to like to just flip over and work on the inside of the beanie so that you can't see any lines. And you can see I'm just going in and out, in and out, in and out over and over again. Just want to make sure it doesn't come undone. Okay, and then you can cut off. Turn it over. That's the back side there. And there we have it. We have a little 0 to 3 month beanie with ears, and how cute is that? Okay, and so like I said, make sure that you look for my other video in the description or in the end screens, because it'll explain to you what size hooks you need for each one. So I hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions or you need any help at all, please don't hesitate to find me on Instagram or Facebook. You can email me. You can also just comment below on YouTube, but please like, share, and subscribe. That helps so much. And if you're in a crochet page or you have people, friends who crochet, please share my videos with them, because that's what gets the views. It's hard to get views for crochet because if someone's not looking up exactly what you're doing, you're not going to get a lot of views. So just share away, guys, and I appreciate it so much. And I'll see you soon with another video. Happy crocheting. Bye-bye.